Hi, good afternoon. My name is Terika Thomas Mills, and today I'll be performing my applying personal protective equipment skills. For the skills, my supplies, they're open, they're not in a package because they were already being used for practice. So I have my gown, my mask, and a pair of gloves. But before I apply my PPE, I'm gonna perform hand hygiene. In the real world, is always better and advisable to use soap and water for hand hygiene, but for the purpose of this video, I'm using hand sanitizer. So now that I've rubbed this in, my hands are clean. I'm gonna first put my gown on. Okay, so when you put your gown on, you have to first tie the string in the back of your neck. Okay, now that this one is tied, I'm gonna tie the other one at the bottom. Okay, so when you tie this one, you want to ensure that you tie it more towards the back. Okay, so now that my gown is on, I'm going to pull it down to ensure that all my clothes is covered. Okay, now I'm going to put my mask on. Applying the string from ear to ear. I'm gonna adjust this mask, put it down, and then this little metal part right here, I'm gonna squeeze it to make sure the mask fits my face properly and also for comfort. All right, so now that I have my mask and my gown on, I'm gonna put my gloves on. But before applying the gloves, I have to make sure that my sleeves are all the way down as much as possible. Okay, so you have to ensure that your hands is completely covered, there's no skin exposed, and then I'm gonna do the same thing for the other hand. Make sure that it's completely covered. I'm gonna ensure that the gown is tucked into the gloves. Okay, so my gloves are on. It's the right fit. So now I'm gonna take care of my patient. Okay, all right, so now that I'm finished taking care of my patient, I'm gonna exit the patient's room. But before I exit the patient's room, I have to ensure that I remove my PPE before leaving the room. So the first thing I'm gonna remove is my glove. I'm just gonna pinch the top here. I'm gonna pull it off, inside out. I'm gonna put it in a ball in this hand, and then I'm gonna reach for the inside of the other gloves. I'm gonna pull it off inside out, making sure I'm not touching the outside of the glove, which is contaminated. And then I'm gonna put it in the biohazard trash can. Okay, now I'm gonna take my gown off, making sure I don't touch my skin with the gown, just in case the gown is contaminated. So I'm gonna try to keep the gown away from my skin. I'm gonna undo the tie in the back. I'm gonna do the same for the side. I'm gonna undo the tie, and then I'm gonna take this off, holding onto the inside of the gown, pulling it away from me, inside out. I'm holding on to the inside of the gown. I'm doing the same here, holding on to the inside, and then I'm gonna roll the gown into a ball, holding on only to the inside. That way the outside is rolled inward, and I'm holding it away from me. Okay, and again I'm gonna put it in the biohazard trash container. Then I'm gonna take my mask off, undoing the strings, ensuring I'm pulling it away from my face. Sorry, ensuring that I'm pulling it away from my face, and I'm gonna put it in the biohazard container. All right, so I'm gonna exit the patient's room, but before I exit the patient's room, I have to perform hand hygiene. And like I said in the initial stage of the video, washing with soap and water is always advisable, but for the purpose of this video, I'm using hand sanitizer. So my hands are clean. I have removed the contaminated PPE, so now I can leave the patient's room with no fear that I'm gonna take any germs or anything like that with me when I exit the room. I perform hand sanitizer. I perform hand hygiene, I'm sorry. So now I'm gonna leave the patient's room and close the door behind me for privacy, and then I'm gonna go document.